Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. This is my weekly show about what I got done and what is coming up painting wise. So not a big week of painting. I did a lot of assembly and priming and airbrushing this week. So I got my basic airbrush tones down on my Blood Knights for the Soulblight Gravelords, and I painted a couple Infinity models for my Knights army to round off my military orders. I also built a whole bunch of terrain until I ran out of glue. So I got gluey fingers. We'll see the terrain. I'll do a feature on it tomorrow, so I'm just gonna kind of show it off and put in a big pile next to my Infinity miniatures for this video. And you can check it out in Witches Wonders tomorrow. And that's it, and then we'll show you wwhat's coming up. I did some digging, got some new projects, and of course got some more stuff on the go. These are the three models that I painted this week. I painted up Joan of Arc. It's the, I think the Angel Giraldez book Joan that I finally painted up to be in my military orders army, Joni Baloney. Having been on the receiving end of Joan of Arc, oh god, since the beginning of N3 from Owen, it's time for me to get on the Joan train. Speaking of which, also Gabriel DeFerzen I painted up. This is the, he's basically Darth Vader. He's a hacker who's also heavy infantry, who also has a Spitfire, who also kills things in close combat. Him and Joan are just the most unstoppable pair of killing machines. And to go with that, a Hospitaller HMG from the new Hospitaller pack. To go with my generic Hospitaller. Although you don't really need to take the full Hospitaller paint train anymore, because you have some great wildcard options in the faction, including the Infirmeraire, who's your portable doctor basically, to be a specialist, and also the Santiago Knight, who also brings a tin bot along and an extra killer hacker. So you have tons of there's a lot of options now for the Joan train. But now that I've got my action pack painted and some of the more heavy knights painted, it's gonna be, there's some variations I can do. And then I also built all this great new micro arts, pre-printed scenery. Until I ran out of super glue. Obviously my fingers are all gluey. Used it in a game. I haven't used this thing yet, which is the cool new objective room, but I'll feature this stuff tomorrow. It's all out of the box like this, just needs to be glued together, and it's super modular, but you can check it out on Sunday. You know which, I got some cool new stuff. Thanks Chorus Belly for these awesome samples of the new Aristia Code 1 Shona Carano. I have the show model, but I'm pumped to paint this one to put in my my Winter 4. She's a great Winter 4 wildcard fire team member, and she does get her stab on. She's a wonderful miniature and also really cool profile in the game. And then Agent Dukash to come back to my Onyx. I love my Onyx, but I like that he's basically got the left hand of Doom. He's, if you don't get the joke, he's Hellboy. Alien Hellboy. And he's a cool new special character for the Onyx. And then this finally came in. I've been waiting for this forever. It's a 4-pack of Wanzers from Front Mission in hard plastic, posable. Oh my god, they're so good. They finally came back in stock. I think it was, Big Bad Toy Shop or something like that online had them in stock, and I am super pumped to play these. Some of my favorite robot designs of all time. I'm going to base these up for my next crew for Gamwolves to kick off a Gamwolves campaign, I think. I really want to actually get to doing a campaign with Owen coming up in the future, and these models are some of my favorite robot models of all time. I'm going to base my crew on these, I think. The options: autocannons, sniper rifles, ballistic shields, melee weapons, just everything. Pack of 4. It's a pack of 4 for $85 US. Like, that was the insane thing, was you got all these guys. You got Zenith, you got what's this guy? Drake, and then you got Numsakar. Yeah, Big Bad Toy Shop had these. It's all the Wanzer designs that are so cool. In hard plastic, fully posable, modifiable, all different weapons. And yeah, it was a crazy deal. So they showed up super fast too, so big thanks for that. I'm going to savor building and painting these. Storage the other day, I found this. I mean, I didn't find it, I knew where it was. But I decided, you know what, these bookshelf games need some love. I'm going to round off my Richard Hallowell Space Hulk series and then just paint up a couple of these ships so you guys can check out what might be the one of the shortest rule books ever. I think it probably took longer to draw this amazing cover for Space Fleet and sculpt these miniatures than did to write the rules for this game. The rules for this game are proto-BFG. They're a really neat little bookshelf game from the 4-pack series of the original GW bookshelf games, which includes Crunch, Space Fleet, Ultramarines, and this one right here, which is, I wish I had a copy of Mighty Warriors. Might be one of the most underrated bookshelf games ever, and came with a ton of super cool miniatures. That's one of my grail games right there, is a copy of Mighty Warriors. I have a copy of Crunch, and I don't think I have a copy of Ultramarines, but Mighty Warriors is a badass box. Basically all the advanced Hero Quest models, plus some extra stuff in like a single box set of like a mini dungeon crawl. It was super cool. Anyway, I only need to pick up 2 of these. I don't have a second Imperial Cruiser. This box I found it on rummage sale, so this isn't like an OG copy or something like that. I have 4 Eldar ships and 1 Imperial ship, which means basically I can play like a little one-on-one to show you the rules, which is really all you need. But I'm pumped. I was looking for this while I was there, which is my Eldar Titans blister. It's just an Eldar Dreadnought from Rogue Trader, but also a Ghost Warrior. And I really wanted to paint the Ghost Warrior for my Myron Jubalgun Rogue Trader like Eldar crew. And if you don't know what a Ghost Warrior is, they were kind of proto Wraithguard. They were just like little tiny dreadnoughts, and he had like a buzzsaw hand and a flamer face, and he was like a baby dreadnought. And then I got a dreadnought here too. I want to paint up at some point to do my Rogue Trader Eldar. Huge thanks to Chet Chisholm in Nova Scotia. He found a bag of just like a bunch of old Rogue Trader stuff and wasn't using it, and decided he was going to send it along so I could paint it up. So I have a maniple of Imperial robots now and 2 Guard Sentinels for doing a little Guard Force for Rogue Trader as well, which I am pumped to paint. I've always wanted to paint these robots. I've never actually owned any. This is the Mantis style one with like a backpack heavy weapon, and there's 4 of these dudes in here for me to paint up to try out some of the robot stuff. And I do have a Bob Ollie Servitor. I have to sculpt him a new axe head because it got cut off at some point to lead these guys, which means I could actually feel like a little Mechanicus detachment now for my Rogue Trader like Imperial. And last but not least, I got my Vampire Blood Dragons all assembled and airbrushed for like the base tones for their black armor to paint up for hopefully getting a game in with them this weekend. I'm also going to try and I brought in Calathus and Dagnay, because they need to get painted for my level 3 encounter for Curse City. I've just finished the last of the level 2s. I've recorded the first 2 level 2 decapitation missions, and we're on to level 3 now, so I'm just going to bump these guys up and actually give them a go so we can see them in the game. Well, that's coming later. But I really want to paint the kitties, because I need to figure out a way to field 20 zombies out of the only 10 zombies that I have. So using like the zombie kitties as zombies, and maybe the gargoyles and the objective markers as additional zombies, I can get to 20 with like the extra widgety stuff and the tombstones as zombies, although I want to use the tombstones as my grave markers. I can get real close to 20, like zombie model wise, and maybe just like parse in a couple extra bits and pieces, but it means that I'd be able to actually have like a full 20-man zombie unit with my Curse City stuff. And yeah, I'm pumped to paint these. I've done some basic airbrushing, some grays and light grays in the armor. I'll do all the metallics, give them a wash, and then like pick out the armor and the leather and stuff like that afterwards, and the bone on all the nightmares. But they're pretty easy paint, which is good, because, you know, people are going to buy 30 of them and run the vampire skew, which I think is coming. So we'll see. And hopefully, I mean, there'll be a neat little ally probably for my Flesh Eater Courts. Although, really, they don't really have a huge amount of place in the whatchamacallit, the Verquest Bloodline stuff, but they'll still be handy. So again, they're on the paint table, done it on the books. Just 3 models painted this week, but lots of new projects on the go and things to work on. I got many pans in the fire and things I'm excited about, and of course, not enough hours in the day. The weather's getting nice, which always cuts into my painting time because I end up sunburned and exhausted outside with the kids. But we'll see what gets done next week. Till then, I'm Ash. Up working. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.